I bet you've seen that it is so darn cheap to move here to the Warner Robins area. Well, I'm going to show you the hidden costs, the ones that no newcomer truly understands and embraces before moving here. And what ends up happening, they end up breaking their budget. They buy a house above their means because of these 5 things that you may not be aware of until now. Check it out. So let's actually start with the good news. The average home price here in the Warner Robins area is anywhere between $220,000 and $240,000, especially when compared to the national average of $419,200. It is absolutely amazing. But the thing is, so many people flock to the area and say, hey, I can get so much house, it's so cheap. But the thing is, they miss out on these next 4 things and it costs them so much money. And that leads into danger number 1, transportation. Here in the Warner Robins area, we do not have public transportation. You're not gonna be able to get on a bus and go to work. So you're going to have to purchase a car. So guess what? You got a car payment with pretty high interest rates right now. With that being said, you also have gas. You have maintenance, right? You have to get oil changes, you have tires, you have brakes, you have rotors. If you're not getting that checked, please do. You're a danger to our society, okay? You need to make sure those are getting checked. Also, you're going to have insurance on that vehicle. And did I mention gas, right? You have all of these expenses and you need to make sure that you properly accommodate for all of those things so you don't break the bank. And that leads us into the next section. You have to plan for utilities because when you are a homeowner, you're going to have gas, you're going to have electric, you're going to have water, you're going to have trash, you're going to have internet, right? There's all of these different fees, and especially with how hot it gets in the summertime, you may run your AC bill $200, $300, maybe even $400 per month, depending on how big of a home that you purchase, right? For example, me, I'm in a 2,300 square foot home, and with the electric company building this glamorous new building that they just did, my electric bill literally doubled, and now I'm looking at about $300 per month for my electric bill, as it used to be about $150. Thank you, that took away a couple date nights throughout the week. Am I salty? Yes. And now let's talk about taxes, insurance, and everything else. And I actually have some of these written down. So on an average of a $200,000 home, you're going to expect anywhere between $1,800 and $2,200 per year for property taxes. But you also need to understand this. If you strategically buy a house in a location like me, where I really wanted to pay city and county taxes, you're gonna get doubled up, okay? And your property taxes are going to be more expensive. So make sure that when you purchase a home, you don't just fall in love with the home, you also take the time to fall in love with paying both city and county taxes because you love supporting local government. Man, yep. That eats it up. I didn't know that. I didn't do my math, okay? But I promise you, every single client that now works with me, I double, triple check property taxes so you don't make the same mistake that I do. And moving into the next segment, Georgia state income tax is anywhere between 5 and 5.75%. So if you're moving from a state that doesn't typically have this, you wanna make sure that you pre-plan, because I know 5 to 5.75% doesn't seem like much, but I promise you, the bigger and nicer of a home that you get, it really does add up. And the reason it's gonna add up is because the bigger, the nicer home that you have, you usually make more money. And the more money that you make, the government loves taking it from you, okay? Hopefully not as much here soon, you know, I don't wanna get political, but at the end of the day, if I can make more money, I'm all about it. But moving on to the last part, home insurance. Right here in the local Middle Georgia area, you're looking at about $1,200 per year, about $100 a month for home insurance. Now, there's different policies and there's different companies out there, and you can bundle home and autos. So I think my home insurance is like $69 per month, but I also have 2 vehicles on there, and I have a security system. So there's all these little nuances that you can go to when it comes down to insurance. And if you need a good contact, I have your back. I actually have somebody that not only I've used ever since I've lived here, but also my father-in-law has been using the same office for about 52 years. They are phenomenal. They will show up if something happens, and their prices, you really can't beat them. And to finish this video off, let's talk about lifestyle, okay? And some opportunity costs, as I like to call them, because we don't have nightlife. I think there's a couple of bars. I know there's one in downtown Perry. There's a really nice winery called Clover Wine Merchant in Perry. Phenomenal place. Michael, awesome owner. Definitely need to check that out if you like wine and cocktails. You know, Warner Robins, you have Gracie's Rooftop Bar. it's not a bad place, just on top of a hotel, kind of a, unique location. I don't go out to the bars, but I'm just naming off some. Downtown Macon, don't drink and drive, but you're gonna have to go all the way to downtown Macon, or if you do want some serious nightlife, you're gonna have to make the 2-hour drive all the way up to Atlanta. So you have to understand the opportunity cost. We do not have nightlife. The closest thing to nightlife that we actually have is going to downtown Macon. In my opinion, it's not really nightlife. Now let me talk about something that really drives home and it just really breaks my heart, because a lot of people flood here and they're like, oh, the cost of living is so cheap with housing, but you forget private school, childcare, really expensive. And when it comes down to good childcare too, you might get on a list that might take months for you to get onto. And private schools are pretty darn expensive here in the local area. So if you don't want to settle for public and you're not willing to homeschool, you're gonna run into a lot of unhidden costs. Not unhidden, a lot of hidden costs. Because if they're unhidden, they'd be plain. But they are hidden, so they would be called hidden costs. Hidden costs, childcare in private schools, be careful. Other than that, with the government freeze of all federal employees, there really isn't anything else that's too bad about the local area. So as long as you don't make those mistakes, you are going to be good to go. It's true, Warner Robins is more affordable than many places, but those hidden costs, they really do add up if you're unprepared. And if you're thinking about moving here, I would love to be able to have a conversation. We can build a budget together, we can uncover those hidden costs, and we can make sure that you have a plan for success every single step of the way, and that you can win when it comes down to buying your next home. My phone number is 478-888-7808. Shoot me a text message, and I love to help serve you and your family. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you on the next one. Shoot me a text. Maybe we can play pickleball. Maybe I help you buy a house. Who knows? Maybe we play pickleball and I help you buy a house. That'd be really cool. See ya.